would you say the casters are easier to play in the current patch? Um, it depends. It really depends. I don't necessarily think so. It really depends what you fight. But yeah, they're definitely a bit easier, I guess, to play, especially if you play with other casters. It's easier to get your synergy going.
They're not picking yet. Once, yes, now they press the ready button, so we
Yep,
are going
they're
there.
ready right now. Zinni, I love you. Can you please play with another soon? Yes, hopefully.
Double feral ban. Can you see it, Zuni?
That's actually interesting. Both maybe some kind of technique, banning the same thing and picking the same thing. Um, so yeah, both teams decided to ban the Feral. So Boitar, you will not see Boitar Feral, you will not see Yips Feral, you will not see Talbadar on the Elemental Shaman, and you will not see Swapixie running the Elemental Shaman. So I think that's pretty good picks. I hope we don't see some type of mirror match, because that could be a bit awkward. But they're gonna pick both UA locks. So as I said, they feel like Toxic Youth feel like they need Bluckstack. He's kind of the key player of the team. They can play so many comps around UA lock. There's Bluckstack overall, so I think that's a good pick for them. And they're gonna pick Resto Shaman both next. And wow, this is gonna come down to the last pick now. I actually feel like they will be playing Boomkin. I feel like Toxic Youth should probably be playing the Boomkin, or maybe it was Intagion on the DK. That could be an interesting pick. Also, the Shadow Cleave. Of course, both teams have no idea what the other one is gonna pick just yet, so they're both picks are gonna be picked. And there's you go. There's the unholy DK. Intagion. It's going to be Shadow Cleave against Shadowplay. Talbadar. Talplay playing that Shadowplay with Azael and Sidu. And haven't seen the Shadow Cleave up around so much, but it's actually a really great comp. I'm not too sure how it does against Shadowplay, but could be a pretty even matchup. So guys, we will see from Toxic Use, we'll see Blockstack playing that UA Warlock, Boitar probably on the Resto Shaman, and Tajan running that unholy DK. Yep, released Tal. There he is. Back to the roots of the Shadowplay. Yeah, I mean, Shadow Cleave is a good comp, and I think if anything could happen. Let's see what team just has the more experience overall, and let's see if maybe one of the teams don't have as much practice against the other, and they will feel a bit less safe about themselves. We'll see. Yeah, the DK is pretty good. It's Contagion. He's a pretty good DK from Europe. Zuni, who are you going to try and qualify with, and what comp? To be honest, I have no idea. I've a couple people in mind, but everything's gonna just come down to the 5.4. Like a lot of people are just waiting for 5.4 because that's when the regional will be at. So gonna have to wait for that. Oops, I'm leaving my group. Sorry. So for the people joining us, this is actually could be the last game of the day. We've seen some great games today at the Bleached Bones tournament. EG played earlier against some Cyclone with Love. They did manage to beat them. Toxic Youth did also beat Everybody Loves Irene. So right now it's kind of like the top two fighting each other. It's kind of like like a semi final of the tournament. If so to speak. You know, they're just fighting each other to see who's the best. Of course, EG did win the first series, the first best out of three. So everything's just gonna happen. Everything's just gonna battle itself right here. If Toxic Use wants to come back, they need to win the two next games. All right, guys, we are about to open the. I'm about to join rather, and do our classical dying, so we can make these frames appear for you guys. Gates are open. I am now joining. Alright, so it will be indeed Boitar on the Shaman and Tajin playing that DK, and of course Blackstack playing that UA Warlock. On the other side is Sea-Doo, Talbot, and Azael, obviously known for running that shadow play ever since I think like level 80. They've been playing that comp for a little while now together. That's just their little, you know, that's just their little fetish comp. They just know how to play it, and always done great with it. Alright, I will be adding players now. Boom, boom, boom. I'll be picking. Alright, guys. Some great games about to win. It's pretty much the top two teams of their own group are fighting each other right now. This is a key point for both team. Team EG, Toxic Use, here playing on the first game of the second best out of three on Necron Arena. See, like Antage is gonna start with that. He's gonna start in the. I forgot the name. I suck. Anyways, the game will be starting, and both warlocks will cast their appropriate beautiful gateways, and Tajin does decide to start in. He gets rooted. That's a good choice, but Tabata playing with that Void Tendril, you know, 8 seconds stuck in that unless he gets freedom by Boitar, and the pressure is gonna come out now. See, Tajin does get freed. He does actually decides to use his second trinket on it. Azael just popping the Demon Soul, same with blocks. Like both teams, you can see a lot of damage coming in from both sides. There's the Gargoyle popping out, and this is used onto Sea-Doo. We'll use the gateway soon. There's the Aura Mastery from Sea-Doo, and Tajin actually decides to AMS preemptively and offensively. Let's see if that will haunt him back later on. There's the root again onto Tajin, and a lot of damage coming on. Tabadar popping that Shadow Fiend onto I'm not sure I guess onto Tajin. Actually, he does not have the AMS. There was the blanket onto Boitar. Decides to NS him after that, and looks like Team EG just taking a lot of damage. And there's the Asphyxiate onto Sea-Doo, the Gnaw onto Tabadar. Decides to trinket out. There's the full Howl onto Blockstack, and Tajin actually gets feared at the same time, but it looks like overall both teams are doing the same amount of pressure. Sea-Doo still has his trinket, Boitar still has his trinket, so looking good for both teams for now. Obviously the Gargoyle was popped, the Shadow Fiend was also popped by Tabadar, so it looks to be fine. I'm not sure what I think the Shadow Cleave should probably at this point go for Sea-Doo and just try and, you know, swap to him with stuns and try and grip him away from the gateway or something. And Tajin is actually stuck in the blanket sounds. Will he decide to trinket? He doesn't decide to trinket the Zarn. He gives him into another fear. Does he give AMS? Yes, he does. Boitar stuck into that hex, but he actually got a big heal right before, and there's Sea-Doo dropping to 40% HP, and Tajin is feared. He should be fine. Azael is still a bit low, does not decide to pop any cooldowns for now. He does get locked on his haunt, and so he should be doing well. And Tajin now stuck again in this route. Blockstack gets locked out, or just blanketed, I think, on his cast. And but both team mainly playing passively. We just saw the Asphyxiate onto Sea-Doo, still holding his trinket. You know, he's confident. He knows he's gonna be fine. He always has Talbadar, you know, able to help him with powered shield or prayer mending. So you know he knows he's fine. And there's the AMS blanket CS blanket silence onto board towards the same time. So good choice to AMS at that time. And I mean, if you look at the meta, it looks like it's kind of in the favor of Toxic Use. Maybe that's what they want right now. They kind of want to get him out of mana. Sidu slowly running out of mana, and there's the asphyxiate onto Sidu. Still does not decide to trinket. Blockstack gets locked, and he should be fine. And look at Team EG. They're slowly dropping down. They're slowly running down, but the Sidu actually just used the healing tide at the same time, so everybody should be packed up again. Alright, there we see Hollow Terror was instantly tremored by Sidu and Tajin, stuck in that route again. That's just very frustrating for any DK, you know, being stuck in that 8-second void tendril. But what can you do? Blockstack now again spreading the diseases. Azael casting a new gateway actually. I think they actually killed it off. Yeah, they did. Blockstack did have dots on Azael, and Intasian does not have a trinket right now, but Boitar still has his, so they should be fine. AMS obviously ready. Sidu still stabilizing on his mana. There's actually a full hex into Boitar. He did try to ground it, but it just was a bit too late, and Sidu's caught in that stun. And there goes the NS. Big crit, should be fine for now. Well, Intagion is stuck in the Void Tendril, and this is a pretty even game right now. I mean, both teams seem to be doing fine. Sidu a bit less mana, but he still has a lot of cooldowns available, so he knows he's going to be fine. And you know, the Team EG just trying to find that opportunity, but they you know, now Toxic Use has all their trinkets available, and Team EG is slowly rotting down. Like these DK diseases are just doing so much damage on top of the Warlock dots, and there's the Gargoyle. Will he be shackled? Not just yet. There's the disarm onto Intagion. Actually, this starts to trigger that disarm to get more pressure going on. Talbot dropping a bit low, but he should be fine. There's the healing stream from Sidu, and Azael still doing fine too. It just actually popped his Demon Soul Red as well. Actually, Talbot decides to disperse at 60%. Maybe he felt like he needed some mana back, or he just wanted, you know, Sidu not spend too much mana on him. We'll see if that will hunt him back. Azael does pop the Hellstone now. Talbot does not have dispersed. Sidu gets locked out. It could be some big trouble right here, but Talbot should be okay. He does pop the Void Channel onto Intagion while he runs around the pillar. He should be fine, but Sidu does not have a trinket. Any CC onto him could be dangerous. We see the big halo now from Talbot. Would actually do a big hit onto Boitar's Shaman. He gets silenced, but Boitar will be fine. Decides to sit the trinket and just Boundmaster Hellstone and Stoneform at the same time. So both teams still doing evenly, except Talbot does not have that disperse and Sidu does not have a trinket. So if they could land up any kind of CC, maybe Talbot will be falling. We'll see how it turns around. Both are still sitting on that trinket, and we'll see Talbot taking a lot of damage. There's the root onto Intagion, and that's gonna make him, you know, it's gonna make him live every game. You know, every 30 seconds, he just root the DK. There's nothing the DK can do about it unless he AMSs it, or Boitar freedoms him. I'm not sure if he's playing with freedom, but Sidu is in a Gnaw stun. He was asphyxiated right before, and we see a Hex at the same time. He actually decides to link. Good choice by him. I don't think he could have dispelled the Hex anywhere. There's the Blanket Shaman onto Boitar. I think they're actually going onto Boitar. He gets feet in the open. He does decide to trinket. Good choice by him. Blockstack gets put into the Hex at the same time, and another Void Tendril on both Intagion and Blockstack. They are stuck in it for 8 seconds. So things are starting to even up. Look at Sidu. Sidu has a trinket coming back up. Disperse is coming also back up. Trinket coming back up from Sidu. And Boitar does not have a trinket. If they could make a swap with Demon Soul and Shadow Fiend is not up, but if they could make a good swap to Boitar, I'm not sure if he has Battlemaster and the Hellstone's back up. It could maybe work. At the same time, Blockstack taking a lot of damage. Does use that Sacrificial Park. A bit of a waste of AMZ right here because nobody's really inside of it, sadly. There's the root full onto Intagion. He gets blanketed. Will he decide to trinket? Yes, he does decide to trigger that silence and AMS right after. Look at Sidu, 30% HP. I think he'll be fine. He takes the gate on the other side and is not able to get the grip back just yet. But look at Team EG taking so much overall pressure. This DK disease is just dominating. There's the Dark Bargain from Azael. He feels like he was, you know, was in some troubles after that Gnaw, and I guess that was a good choice by him. Look at now Sidu, the pressure is back onto him, but he should be fine because there's the healing tide from Sidu, and that's from Sidu, so this team should be backed up, fully backed up in a couple of seconds. And actually there's the Demon Soul by Azael. He actually gets locked on it though, so actually I think he faked it. Great job by him. He will be able to spread the disease even more. Talbot has the Disperse available. He does not use it quite yet. He decides to will that fear. Cast Imperial Mending, and Sidu is stuck into Asphyxia. He does decide to trinket, and I feel like the next swap could be deadly. The next swap could maybe work. The next Asphyxiate could maybe work out. There's the AMS from Intagion. All of Team EG is slowly rotting. there's actually a full route with on the another to Intagion, so he should be fine. Tabadog's gonna have to disperse probably here. There's the disperse to Sea-Doo, just into so much trouble. Look at Team EG, and there's the full hex onto Sea-Doo. If they can do an asphyxiate onto him, I think he will just fall down. There's the powered shield. Gorgle comes back up. There's the asphyxiate. If he dies, it's now. But a nice disarm onto Intagion will probably save Sea-Doo, because obviously the 8-second disarm onto TKs is just devastating for them. A nice halo by Tawadar will actually give some extra healing to his team, and that was a nice backing up from Team EG, because they were in some pretty desperate situation. There's actually the Shadow Fiend onto Blockstack, and he's stuck into the fear, but the Shadow Fiend not going to do too much from Talbot, because I think it actually got feared off. Now it's only hitting Blockstack. But anyways, Boitar is stringing it back up. He's now drinking. This is really important for Boitar. He wants to take the mana lead once again. Sea-Doo still does not have a trinket. We could probably see a swap onto him also. And this is looking pretty even for both sides. I mean, Dabbler does not have the disperse, and there's the asphyxiate onto Sea-Doo. They're gonna put some pressure onto him. I think he'll be just fine. You know, he can just use the gateway. He will get gripped up twice, as you see. Now he's gonna try to take the gateway away, and he's actually nope. He's just gonna heal himself for now after casting that freedom totem. And yeah, we are I think about 8 minutes in, and it's still looking like both teams could actually get a kill. Boitar is going for the drink right now. Sea-Doo still does not have a trinket, and yeah, we'll see. I mean, if you see, Azael still does not have many cooldowns. He does not have that resolve, that dark region, that dark bargain is not available. Maybe they could actually go for a swap onto Azael if they could analyze the situation and feel like it. But there's the Demon Soul. There's the from Azael. They're swapping to Azael. He has actually nothing. Asphyxiate onto Sea-Doo. Tremor by Sea-Doo. There's the link. Good link by Sea-Doo. Knowing that Azael still does not have. There's actually a full hex, and it was actually a NS by Boitar. Nice NS hex, but I guess it just didn't matter as much because the link just topped everybody off anyways. And let's see if it will actually haunt Boitar using that hex offensively. We'll see. Sea-Doo does pop the Ascendance. Disperse is up for Talbadar. He does pop Hellstone first. He should be fine. Sea-Doo still a bit low on mana, but Boitar about roughly the same. There's the Void Tendril again onto Intagion, you know, denying him from getting anywhere there. You're just stuck, Mr. DK. And Sea-Doo now dropping dangerous low on mana though. Intagion does decide to trinket right here. Blockstack is stuck in a fear. He decides to also trinket it. Maybe they feel like it's time to actually get a kill. Sea-Doo's actually getting some big drinks. It's really important. 50% mana back from Sea-Doo. Great time to drink. As I mean, Tumblr still has this burst available, so they should be fine. There's the blanket sounds onto Intagion. He could just drop right now. No NS available from Boitar. He actually decides to link. Could be a good choice. And actually, that was not a link. It was just a actually just a healing surge. And Intagion again stuck in their roots, and that was just be really hard for him. Maybe Boitar should go roots or just feed him, trying to feed him as much as he can. And Intagion did try to steal something. I'm not sure what he got just yet. But Sea-Doo, Team EG is in a bit of trouble right now. They do not have trinket. They're kind of running low out of cooldown. Ascendance is not available, NS is though, so, and we'll see how it turns out. We just saw a hex onto Boitar and the fear onto Intagion, and both teams are kind of evening it out. You know, they know that if they play safe, nobody can really die. If they just rotate those cooldowns, both teams are just, you know, so good that they just know they can just rotate as soon as. There's the blanket onto Boitar. Talbot dropping dangerous low. Does not decide to disperse just yet, and I guess that was the good choice since he'll be fine. There's the Demon Soul now from Blockstack, gonna do a lot of damage. Intagion stuck again into that root. And yeah, Talbot are just spreading those dots. Both Demon Souls are now have been used. Spreading the disease. There's the disarm onto Intagion when they were swapping onto Sea-Doo. Good choice by him. There's the gate again by Sea-Doo, and you know, this kind of reminds me of the BlizzCon games when Team EG was just fighting against another, and then it was kind of the same thing, except the games were a bit shorter overall. But Blockstack actually does a 2% HP, just randomly died, and I'm just like talking, you know, chilling out, and Blockstack just died. He didn't use a single cooldown. He just died at EDC. I'm not even sure I didn't check him out. He just died on the other side of the map, and Boitar still had trinket. He had an asset, everything up, and I think that's just a mistake, and Team EG will just be winning. I'm kidding. I know. Was that a timeout, Sevi?
I think it was. I don't know how to use the timer, so yeah, I think it was a timeout.
Yeah, timer was out. I told him. I knew. Zuni knows. Hashtag Zuni knows. So the score is 1-1. No, I lied. I didn't see him. I don't actually have a timer on my screen. That's why. Only the streamer has. Yeah. Hashtag Zuni knows. Alright, anyways, it was gonna be 1-1. And it was actually a really close game. I mean, you can just see. Oops, I just joined. They're gonna hate me again. I'm gonna go in stealth. Maybe they didn't see me. I'm gonna go in the corner. Alright. So 1-1 right now between Teamy G and Toxic Use. I guess it was a good choice, you know, picking up that DK in that that Shadowcleave mirror, the Shadowcleave comp rather, because they've been doing so great with it, and it's just they almost got Sea-Doo low. There was that one point where Sea-Doo did not have a trinket; he was around 20% HP, and you know Tabler was able to save him. Was that I think that disarm probably just saved them. You know, DKs do get disarm for 8 seconds, so it's pretty huge if you do it. And Intagion did not have a trinket at that time, so yeah, that was like their kill attempt, and yeah. Okay, I think I didn't screw the frames up. Maybe they don't hate me. Maybe they do. We'll see.
So this could be the last game of today, actually.
Correct. This actually could be the last game. As I said earlier, Boitar's team, Toxic Use, lost the first best out of 3 against Team EG. So if Team EG wins this one right now, it is theirs. They will be getting just 2 points in their group, and probably, you know, just assuring their spot in their group and moving on to the next stage of the tournament. Alright guys, I'm just waiting to die. Toxic Use is not killing me just yet. Maybe they like me, I don't know. They're just not killing me. Oh, did I mess it up? I'm not sure. I don't know. They're not leaving. All right. I think everything's fine, guys. Actually. All right. I think everything's fine. This is amazing. All right, guys. So this is actually could be the last game. If you guys want to cheer up for EU, the best country in the world, you need to do it for Toxic Use, because the time is actually now. If Toxic Use loses this game, they will be losing the overall series. So guys, if you're for Toxic Use, cheer up for them right now. If you're Team EG, you can also cheer for them, but they're just been owning anyways. So let's see how this happens. And there we see an instant creep onto Azael. He actually gets the port just before. That was a bit unlucky by Intagion. He did try to get Azael from stopping that port, and Azael actually gets locked out on his demo. So great job by Blockstack denying that damage. Intagion now actually decides to pop Icebound Fortitude and AMS at the same time. Not sure. Maybe just wants to deny some early pressure. And boards are actually trinketed early on. I'm not sure what kind of missing that, unfortunately. But anyways, they should be fine. And looks interesting to note, Blockstick is now playing Shadow Fury. They do not have that How, and there's a lot of Necro Strike going on to Sea-Doo. There's the Healing Surge. Nice gnaw by Intagion. There's the NS with Unleash. Sea-Doo should be fine right now. He's probably gonna try and gate soon. No, he knows he's comfortable with what he's doing. So he's fine. Intagion and Blockstack do both get feared at the same time, and Sea-Doo just casting that Hex. Will he get it? No, it will be actually stopped right before. There's the Asphyxiate used by Intagion. Talbot stuck in that fear. Does decide to will it. And look at EG, they're slowly rotting. There's the Battlemaster Hellstone from Sea-Doo. Feels like he has to use it right now. And Toxic is doing a good job. There's the dark region used by Azael, and the Shidoujin into so much pressure. There's no gateway. There's absolutely no gateway. I think it was actually killed by Toxic use. But look, there's the Shadow Fiend used by Tobador. Some big damage coming onto Intagion. AMS will have to be popped. There's the AMS. Will just break through. I don't know just yet. Boys are stuck in that hex full. If there's anything after that, it could be the end for Intagion. AMS actually just faded, but I think he's gonna be just fine for now. Alright, interesting to note. As I said, there's the Asphyxiate onto Sea-Doo, the Shadow Fury onto Tobador. Azael's trying to get that gateway. That's really important. He gets the gateway off. Root onto Intagion and denying that TK from moving. That's the freedom from Boitar. Nice job by him. And Paramedics taking back and forth here, and well, Azael actually just faked a CS, so he should be fine. Tobador just casting his VTs, trying to keep his mana up. He's doing good for that so far. Boitar now does not have Trick. He's stuck in a shoot in the fear into a sound. Same time, will he try to tremor late? Yes, he does, but it might just be too late. He was almost in the 20% death range, but nice AMS was the Lichborn. Gonna top him back almost to full right here. Alright, and Boitar's trinket is actually back up, so they should be fine for now. As we've seen, Intagion was stuck into that root. Tobador still has defensive cooldowns up, you know. Demon Soul will be popped by Azael right now, casting those big haunts onto everybody, and trying to get as much pressure as they can. And I'm not sure what target the EG wants right now. What do they want? Do they... I think they just want to go into Intagion and just blanket him every time while they get X onto Boitar. That just seemed to be their strat overall. And Sea-Doo going a bit low on mana. Look at that, 30%. There's the Hex onto. He actually didn't end up casting it. There's blanket sounds onto Boitar and Intagion. Does pop the AMS. Good choice by him. But look at Sea-Doo dropping so low damage. There's the execute tick. If he does 35%, he might just die, but he won't. There's a Hex onto Sea-Doo to Tobador at the same time. Nice cross CC. Block Sack now gets put into the fear. He does decide to shrink it. Sea-Doo, I think, being bit some troubles. I mean, he still has cooldowns, but how long can they keep this for? We'll see. There's the NS from Sea-Doo to Azael. She's taking a lot of damage. There's the Dark Region Hellstone being popped as well. And Team AG slowly rotting. As I said in the first game, those dots and those diseases are just taking down the whole entire team. I think Azael just faked another CS here, so he's going to be able to cast right after Tobador gets put into the fear. And there's the Gargle. There's the scary part. He kind of needs to shackle it if he can't to relieve some pressure. He won't do it quite yet. And Azael actually into some trouble. Does not have that. And then that Dark Region available just yet. Actually has to cast another gateway, and Sea-Doo is into so much trouble that he might have to actually just link. There's a Battle Master Hellstone, you'll be just fine, or Master will be popped. Nice job by Sea-Doo, but look at Intagion was dropping a bit low, 40%. IMS is available, so he should be fine. And Azael has just been trying to cast his gateway, but he just gets Shadow Fury on it right now. Great job by Blockstack. Sea-Doo stuck into that 4-second fear. The whole of Team EG just kind of dropping down, and the cooldowns are being slowly used, and I feel like if they keep swapping into a Sea-Doo, they might just eventually kill him. And that was a DR Asphyxiate, unfortunately, so Sea-Doo will not trinket it. But look at Sea-Doo's mana, 10% mana. I'm not sure if mana ties up, not just yet. There's the capstone from Sea-Doo trying to get the Intagion. He actually catches the capstone onto Intagion. Great job by him, but Sea-Doo solo mana, what can he really do? Mana Tide is about to pop out. There's a nice Shadow Free from Tobador to Azael. Azael has to pop the Dark Bargain, and I think actually Intagion tried to steal that Dark Bargain, but I'm not sure if that's actually possible. And Sea-Doo still dropping down a little bit on mana. He just used a tremor. Does he asphyxiate? He does trinket. Good choice by him. He knows he's going out of cooldown. How long can they do this for? There's the blanket silence by Tobador, and the Intagion would actually just be fine. They're having some trouble getting the pressure around, but I mean, Boitar did actually trinkets, so maybe they could make something happen in the future. Guys, if you're joining, it's still 1-1 for both two teams. Toxic Use against Team EG here, playing the shadow play. And Azael is slowly running on a cooldown. As you can see, he only has Dark Region coming up soon. He does not have the Dark Bargain for 3 minutes. At the same time, Sea-Doo is running out of cooldowns. He does not have the trinket, 10% mana. Can he pick himself up? There's the grounding, almost grounding the Asphyxiate, but not quite yet. And he's actually going to be fine. Tobador going to cast the Powered Shield. Big NS with Unleash comes up, and there's the Rude Void Tendril up onto Intagion. Will be just fine for now. Demon Soul was just used by Blockstack, spreading out those dots on the whole Team EG. Sea-Doo been maintaining his mana though. Healing stream is up. There's the Hex grounded by Sea-Doo. Great job by him. And Azael decides to trigger that DR Fear. There's a Hex again actually. And they're actually onto Sea-Doo. He's so low, he might just have to link. And the Tobador just barely gets in. There's the Bulwark just proc. Hailstone Dark Region used to release some pressure. And a great swap by that Shadow Cleave from Taki used. There's the AMS from Intagion while Botar was blanket silence. How far can they go? Can they make this happen? Can they kill Sidu before Trinket comes up? There's a new gateway by Azael, so I think Sidu will be fine. And Toxic Youth has been doing a great job. They've been killing the gateway and dotting the gateway, so it has been dying mid-game most of the time. We just started disarm onto Intagion, relating that DK pressure, but Sidu has cooldowns coming up now, but Azael actually does not have many cooldowns left. As you can see, does not have Dark Region and does not have Dark Bargain up. Can they make maybe a swap onto Azael with a Hex onto Sidu? Is that something that would be possible? We will see. Azael actually gets locked out here on that cast while his Demon Soul was up. Good job by Blockstack, and there's the asphyxiate onto Sidu. I guess they want him, but he gets rooted. He gets rooted and feared. He doesn't have to Lichborn it, and Boitar also casting those greater healing waves with the Aura Mastery. There's the Gargoyle, has been popped. Can Team EG go down? Look at their over health in the mana of Sidu. It's slightly going down, but Boitar is having his drink. Actually, he decides to stand up. Actually, I think Talbot just kept him in combat. Great job by him. The Gargoyle is still taking. It's not going to get shackled just right now. But both should be fine. Azael gets caught into the Hex. Sidu decides to get away. Good choice by him while Intagion is stuck in the root, and that's just how they're doing the great peels, you know, disarming the DK, putting him into the root right after, denying him from swapping onto Sidu every game. Mana now has taken the lead. I mean, Sidu has taken the lead in the mana war. 38%. Bortor actually gets locked out on his cast, but his whole team is fine, so it should be fine. And Blockstack has a Demon Soul running, and the whole team with the unused trinket gonna do so much damage. Look at Talbot's money. Mana, there's the asphyxiate onto Sidu. Does he decide to trinket? Not just yet. Triple Shadow Fury, and Sidu does make the right choice. He just gates away. Great job by him. Talbot might have to disperse though, as Sidu is still dropping low, and Toxic Youth having so much pressure right now. Can they do it? Azael dropping 30% HP, might have to use some defensive coolness at this point. There's a 3-orb DP with the Vampiric Embrace, should heal everybody a bit. And Taishin does decide to trinket at silence with the AMS right after Boitar stuck into that fear. Does decide to tremor it right after. And I mean, Team EG has just been stabilized. They've been at this health and mana for the last 5 minutes, so I'm sure they could they could just, you know, they could just keep going for a little bit like that. They know what they're doing. They have the gateway ready. They have the Shadow Priest peeled. There's a Shadow Fiend from Talbot. Looks like they'll be hitting. Actually, can't see who's gonna be hitting. It's gonna be Intagion for now, and yeah, but Intagion actually decides to pop that unbound that. I forgot her name. I suck. And Bortar, and actually Intagion stuck into that fear. Bortar, big heal, big GS here right there. What Sidu was into the asphyxia. Talbot into the fear. Azael, you know, still trying to cast his haunts on him. Intagion was caught into that root once again, and it's been pretty much stabilized right now. They need to wait till the next Gargoyle. That's how they get their pressure. There's the blanket silence onto Boitar. Let's see if the 3 orbs DP will be coming up. Not just yet. Boitar looks like just tapped his health, going slightly low on mana, but on health. But let's see how they can take this down. Boitar now took the lead. Boitar actually got locked out on his cast. He does decide to stone form. A nice root onto Boitar. He cannot do anything. He does decide to trinket in Link. Good choice by him, and Team EG kind of turning it around. But look at Sidu's mana. How long can they do this for? Team EG just forced the trinket, and the Link does this huge. Azael might have to actually pop some cooldowns defensively. He's actually, yeah, there's the Dark Bargain. He was already at 23% health, but look at Intagion into that fear. Gargoyle comes up. He does decide to use his Desecrated Ground, get him out of that CC. Unused trinkets being popped. Team EG under so much pressure. Talbot stuck in that fear. Decides to will. Gets put in another fear. Sidu gonna have some trouble. He's big trouble. Azael's at 10% HP. Everybody's dying. 20% HP. Can Sidu do it? There's the Link, but not that effective. He needs a healing tide, but it's not up just now, and everybody's using the Hellstone and doing the best they can to live. And Tajian putting that offensive AMS, you know, he wants that pressure, he wants to finish the game. The Gargoyle just ended, but can they do it? Look at Sidu's mana, he's so low. Talbot does not, and now decides to disperse for the mana. He knows that Sidu cannot heal him through all that pressure. Can Team EG do it? Can they, or will Toxic Youth just make it a triple Shadow Fury onto everybody? Sidu now does not have a trinket. Talbot does not have a disperse. Can they make anything happen? Maybe a Hex onto Sidu and a swap onto Talb. We will see. As I said, Azael does not have Unending Resolve and Dark Bargain, so he's pretty much running out of cooldowns. So we'll see how that ends up. there was the Blanket Silence and Block Stack. Was Blanket Silence and Locked Out actually at the same time. A bit of an overlap. There's the Asphyxiate onto Cedo, but Intagion is feared, so he should be fine. A DR Shadow Fury onto Cedo. Cedo just, at 14% mana, but he was for pretty much the last 8 minutes I've been talking, so, YOLO, he's fine. And Block Stack now stuck in the Fury. That's the side of Trinket. Team EG still under pressure. There's the 3 orbs onto Intagion. He will just be just fine. He's not even AMSing, but Bortar, it's costing him a lot of mana overall. Trinket will be coming up, and this is such a close game. Talk to use just so much pressure, but can they finish? There's the Healing Tide from Cedo. They really need to kill that. Will they do it? Not just yet, unfortunately. And so it will actually top Team EG back to full. There's the Fear onto Azael. There's the Shadow Fiend. If anything happens, it's now. There's the Void Tendril onto Intagion. Shadow Fiend has been popped, and not too much happening just yet. Cedo is, though, going for the drink. This is really important for him if he wants to take the lead again. Big drinks from Cedo coming in. This is huge. This is important. He does have to stand up again because he was stopped. But, but I mean, this game's been going for a while, and it's been back and forth a lot. Toxic Use had a little more pressure. And I feel like if they just keep going like this, they will just eventually get a kill. But Team EG, obviously, as you guys know, they have so much experience playing that shadow play. They know they can just live if they just rotate cooldowns. That's what they've been doing, just slowly rotating those cooldowns, and everything just fine. A nice cap stun by Cedo onto Intagion. He will be stuck in that block stack. Just uses Demon Soul, trying to spread the diseases, those dots out around. There's the Asphyxiate onto Cedo. Will he trigger big necrotic strikes onto Cedo right now? There's the execute check. Will he dispel himself? He can't because the UA is up. He does decide to pop Ascendance with the Unleash NS. He should be fine for now. Bortar now recovered most of his mana. Look at him, 50% mana. Just use the Tremor Totem. He will be stuck in that 4-second Fear. Will it happen to Bortar? Yes, there is, but nice healing time at Bortar just before. Like, he actually decides to Trinket. An interesting choice because he did have the healing tie down. I think he would have been fine because he actually healing tie right before. Cedo now pops the Storm Lash Totem. They thought it was a good time for him to kill. But Talbot stuck into the Hex. Cedo deciding to get a few drinks. Now he's standing up. Azael also dropping a bit low. There's the Asphyxiate onto Cedo. Decides to Trinket. I think it's a good choice because the Gargoyle is still ticking. And look at Talbot. I think he's going to have to disperse eventually. He's Oom. He knows he's going to have some trouble. Look at Talbot's mana and Cedo's mana. 1%. This is trouble. This is trouble. And as you guys know, Cedo lost Taylor Swift. So you were trouble, etc. And this game's been going for a while, and they're so What can Team EG make this happen? Can something happen right here? There's the Tremor Totem from Bortar. Talbador re-puts the Fear Ward onto Cedo. Can Cedo do it? There's the Asphyxiate full. Just dispel the UE right before. If they make it happen right now, Blanket Silence onto Block Stack, stopping those dots, and he should be fine. Cedo popping the Battle Master Hellstone. He's gonna be just fine. There's the Insanities though, popped by Talbador onto Intagion. 3 orbs DP. Icebound Fortitude is forced. Bortar does not have a trinket. Could they lane any CC? Not just yet. So they will be fine. And I don't know how this has been going for a while, but it's been pretty close right now between those two great teams. Intagion will be put into the Root and the Fear at the same time. Same with Blockstack. And Cedo still low on that mana. Does not have the trinket. Can a swap still be made? I'm not sure. We will see. And guys, I think this game is actually gonna go for a full till they get a kill, since the first one was a draw. So yeah, we'll see. And actually, interesting to note, Cedo was such on DR from stuns that actually we saw a Strangulate coming in because he was on DR from the Asphyxiate. Anyways, Demon Soul was popped by Blockstack, spreading out the disease. Intagion gets dispelled. He tried to steal something. I'm not quite sure what he got. But let's see, now Cedo knows he has to play conservative. He just casted that healing wave while sitting down at the same time to drink Azael, popping that Demon Soul. I feel like they have to go onto Bortar. I think they just force a trinket onto Bortar and just swap on him with everything. That's their key choice. We just saw an Asphyxiate onto Cedo. Trinkets will be coming up. Insanity will be popped. There's a big Unleash NS by Cedo. Talbador is actually popping the Shadow Fiend. The 3 orbs have also been used. And it looks like Bortar's team will be just fine. For now, it looks like Cedo actually did a great job getting his mana back. Look at him, he's back to 70% mana, so the Team EG will be just fine. Great job recovering from that grim situation, and this is looking okay for both teams. Bortar was just trying to drink. I think he got put back up because Tabata dotted him. Both teams look to be equally defensive have the actually look at Blockstack. Blockstack just kind of used two of his big major cooldown. He does not have that unending resolve and that dark region. Maybe a swap onto Blockstack could be a swap. Could be good. There's the sacrificial park. That's his last cooldown for 1 minute. And let's see if they can make anything happen. Team EG just trying to play safe. They don't want to commit too much. And there's a nice blanket silence combination into Hex onto the Boytor and the full the Blockstack in 10% HP. He will go down. And there it is. As said, Blockstack had no cooldowns. Blanket silence by onto Boytor, followed by the Hex, and that will be it. Team EG bringing it back. USA, 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 America, America, America. Yay. Alright. And that's GG. Great job by both teams. Those were some really close match. You really expect to see those just like die at many points, but it's just to just rotated everything pretty well. And at the end, as I said, that CD Hex, yeah, I can't talk anymore. There was just Porto had to shrink and he got silenced into a full Hex while Blockstack had no CDs up, and that's they knew, they analyzed the situation, they knew Blockstack had no cooldowns, so they just swapped to and put some CC onto Sea and finished off Toxic Youth.
And that was the last game for today, I guess.
That was indeed the last game for today. So Team EG won both their games today. Toxic Youth did beat Zyrene. Everybody loved Zyrene earlier on to the games. Great job by them. That was a nice setup. Good job living overall. We had some great games today. I mean, we had some close series. We had some interesting games. It was fun. But right now, I think Team EG will just be leading the group stage. I don't think they have lost a series just yet, and everything's just looking great for them. They did beat Toxic Youth. They beat while Toxic Youth did beat Everybody Loves Aryan. So it's looking really good for them.
Well, thank you for commentating today, Zunia.
Yes, no problem. Wait.
No problem. Always ready, like a pioneer.
Always ready, da.
Да.
All right. I guess we're done for today, at least.
Yeah, you should make a Twitter meanwhile.
A
You
Twitter.
got so many fans today.
All right. Well, anyways, thanks guys for enjoying these great games we had today. That was just the last game from the Bleached Bones tournament. We just saw EG beating off Toxic Youth in that close game against Shadow Cleave. But I think we have some more series tomorrow. Yes.
Yes.
All right, great.
I can see.
All right, so guys, thanks for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Thanks for Savvy for being the cameraman. Thanks for everybody behind making this possible. Thanks for you guys being active in the chat. It was really fun. Thanks for everybody just participated. Good job to Team EG for winning. Good job to Toxic Youth also for putting up some great games today. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace out.